Please like, comment, and subscribe.
Hi, I'm Kim,
And I'm Torra.
and this is our podcast, Kicking It with Kimm and Torra. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. Look, like always, we have these amazing topics that we cannot wait to get into and share with you all. And something that has been dear to my heart, I mean, as troubling as ever, is my boy Diddy. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of all of his work. I loved Biggie, I loved Aaliyah, I love Mary J. Blige. I love everybody pretty much. He's Craig Mack, all of them. I loved everybody he's pretty much touched, I've loved. So I can't say that I'm not a fan of his work, and it's like if you have somebody in your life that you are a complete fan of and you love or care about, and you hear that they've gotten in trouble, you can't say, oh, the switch just goes on and off like that, unless it's something that you really know and believe that is wrong. I don't know or believe all the stuff that's supposed to be saying or said about him. I'm the jury is still out. I listen. I'm whatever way the facts go, I'm gonna oblige, but I don't know. So when I hear that his legacy is being brought down because he decided to sue a company that owes him money for something that he promoted, and they were even willing to let him promote it as if it was his own when it never was. Like everyone was drinking his drink, and I'm not even going to say the name of the drink because I'm like, I'm not giving y'all no more love. But this man was suing you all, and now all of a sudden years of this stuff is just coming out. Not day one, not day two, not year one, year two, but now after all of this, you're saying this guy is the most horrific guy. You got the media behind you. You got every social media. Everyone is just jumping on board. And we as Black folks are, to me, is just putting the dagger in them the most. And then you said you've heard that Jay-Z and other people are lined up next.
Jay-Z, Jay-Z in particular next. So let me say about Puffy, I am
Mm-hmm.
a fan of his music from, I think it was the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
well, all that. I loved all that.
Yes.
But I have known, and I think we disagreed on this in the last episode, I have
Mm-hmm.
known for quite some time that just like the entertainment industry in Hollywood, the
Mm-hmm.
music industry is disgustingly dark, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been aware that Puffy is dirty for
Mm-hmm.
a very long time.
When
I
you say dirty, what do you mean? Like as in treating women bad or business deals bad or the whole
uh,
thing?
underage people, the allegations of him essaying Justin Bieber and Usher. Usher's mom sent Usher to live with Puffy for a year. Like, why on earth would you do that? And sometimes Usher has said things like, oh, I was in the club, the things I have seen, the things that Diddy has let slip about him and Usher tussling under the covers and that sort of thing. I mean, it's just not anything nice. I've been aware of the gay rumors, of
Mm-hmm.
the rumors that he slept with French Montana, which we could see from how they behaved at French Montana's birthday when French was there with no shirt on, seated across the table from Diddy, and that vodka drink that you didn't mention,
Mm-hmm.
one called French Vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that flavor supposedly came from. The rumors that Diddy was the boy toy of Clive Davis, just on and on and on. The fact that all, other than Mary J. Blige, maybe Faith Evans, and I think Mary might be on another label now. Other
Mm-hmm.
than them, everybody that was signed to Bad Boy Records is pretty much dead, has a dead career,
Mm-hmm.
or as in the case of Mace, is just the mortal enemy of Puffy.
Yeah.
So I have known, and today I saw this TikTok, trying to
Mm-hmm.
get into watching that again, TikTok
Mm-hmm.
by somebody named what was her name?
T.S. Madison.
No, Live T Tender Live or Live or
Oh,
something like
okay.
that. She's an old school. She's a rapper, a young lady who has popular social media accounts, I think. But I
Mm-hmm.
saw a rap of hers from back in the day. Guess what?
Oh, I saw that. I remember what she
Talk
was saying.
about
Her sister.
Cassie.
Yeah, she was saying Cassidy got put on. They all modeled and hung together, and then Cassidy got put on, and then her sister, who didn't want to give in to Was it Jay-Z or
I
somebody?
thought it was her not giving in to Jay-Z, but she talked about how Cassie got put on. Then I know that
It was amazing rap too, I think.
it was actually really good,
Yeah, it was.
informative and really good. So I have for a long time felt that Puffy was just dirty. He just dirty when it comes to stealing money from his artists,
Mhm.
using people. Everybody had, I mean, he used to be really good at picking a hit or making a hit. So everybody had a top hit or
Mhm.
a top album.
Mhm.
But after that, no more. The only person that's left standing with any money is Puffy. Craig Mack, what is that guy's name? No, Keith Murray.
Oh,
Keith
oh,
Murray, they're now filming, which is disgusting, out. He's a drug addict.
oh, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
nobody really survived with any money or any level of career other than old Puff Daddy. I've known a long time he's dirty. I will say to you that I do agree that they do come after our people and take them down. The issue is that in that industry, in the entertainment industry, like Oprah and Tyler Perry, they're all dirty. So they cover for you as long as
And
you're making
playing the
them
role.
money.
Yeah.
They cover
Mhm.
for these black celebrities and
Mhm.
billionaires and
Mhm.
millionaires as long as they're making the money and towing the line.
Mhm.
When they step out, when you step out of line, they're going to show you who you are. And I have been hearing about that um, huge liquor company for
Mhm.
months. I have been hearing about that for months.
Mhm.
And, that he sued them for discrimination because when he did the second spirit
Mhm.
alcohol with them,
Mhm.
they didn't promote it the way they did that first one and let everybody think he, like you said, he owned the first one.
Yep.
Apparently they bought Casamigos
Yep. Yes, they
Entertainment,
did.
start focusing on that, and he sued them for discrimination. And after that, all his problems began. So
As if they weren't already there. And I just want to know, where did that
I
come
do think they were already there. And I really do think that they will cover for you
from?
until you step out of line or you're no longer useful. Or let's keep it real. You know how the master demon is. You will get used, but you will get taken down. So when
And
your
see, and that's what
time's
I
up,
feel like it goes back to the 80s drug era where they were always locking up the local boys. And it's like, they don't own planes. They don't own farms of this. So you taking down these people to fill your prisons and make your quota, but you never go after the people who are actually the criminals. Like, who you mean to tell me all the girls who may or might not have complained about these interactions with these celebrities, you had to be able to pay the police off, you had to be able to pay the judges off, you had to be able to pay so many people off, and you're not going to tell me the black dollar, the little itty bitty black dollar, was doing all that. You can't tell me that. There has to be a bigger, scarier fund out there protecting them. So my thing is this: why aren't anybody ever talking about the bigger problem?
So with the drug thing, just before we move on from
Mhm.
that, I do agree that they will get the street dealers instead of
Mhm.
getting the kingpins. But
Yeah.
the reality is that the individual or entity at the top of the drug gang is the United States government.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
they're not going to expose themselves, but there were higher up people down the line that they could have
So
targeted instead of the corner boys.
so I guess my question to you would be, from a legal standpoint, would be, where does it start? Where, like, when you, okay, I'm an innocent person, right? What, no matter what game I'm choosing to play, I'm an innocent person. When do I start becoming the criminal? Like, I have no sick things about me. I have no weird things about me. Okay, you drug me up, you put a little kid in the bed, and you say that I did this, and you show me the video. What makes me as an individual say, oh, no, no, no. I'm going to the social media. I'm going to tell them what you did. I'm going to tell them what I saw. What makes me go, okay, I'm going to comply? What do you want me to do? Where
Well,
is me?
you know that fame and fortune are some serious drugs in this country,
Okay.
especially when some of these people come from impoverished backgrounds.
Okay.
So after they're compromised, first of all, they don't want the brothers in the hood to know what they've done or what they've allegedly done. And secondly, they want the paper. That's what that girl Tea Tender, I don't know what her name is, Tea Tender
Mhm.
or whatever. That's what she was saying. All of us were in there only Cassie bit the hook, and then she goes up and the rest of us fall by the wayside. People are
Okay.
saying that all the
Okay.
time. I watched a video yesterday with a white male who is an influencer. He and his buddy were making it. They were both influencers. They moved out to Cali, got invited to a particular party.
Mm-hmm.
He did not go all the way through. His friend did. So his friend blew up.
When you say go all the way through, what do you mean?
The party has 6 separate rooms, and each room was had progressively more requirements till you got to the 6th room. And he
Are
said
you hypothetically speaking room, or you mean actual rooms?
rooms, I mean actual rooms in the mansion, and
Oh,
lots of celebrities there and everything. Hot and and one of the rooms before was like all this fabulous food and stuff. He's like they were just smashing it in their mouths, throwing it. Every room got progressively more debauchery. I can't even think of another word. And that final room was, they would ask you, are you Christian? Are you Muslim? Are you whatever it is you said? If you're Christian, they give you the Bible. If you're a Muslim, the Quran, whatever the case may be, you to put your hand on there and say, I am my own God, and something else, and then go in. That he said his friend did it, went into the 6th room. He did not do it.
he doesn't know what was in the 6th room. The Bible is the 5th
I'm
room.
about to tell you. So
Okay.
he didn't do it.
Got me
They
clenching my
put him
pearls.
out. They put him out. And, he said the person who was in charge of letting you in the room, as well as all the celebrities, the person yelled out, the price was not paid. Something like the price was not paid, remove the profane. And then all those celebrities and stuff started yelling that at him as they got him out of there. So he said that he looked in the window in the 6th room. That was the room that was all red, and that the things that were going on were horrendous. But later he talked, but they didn't know he saw it. They gave him his cell phone. He went home. Later, he's trying to say to his friend, look, I'm concerned. What did you do? I didn't. Da, da, da. He told his friend that he had looked in that, because the friend tried to play it off like, oh, it was just party games. Ha, ha, ha. And he was like, I looked in the window and I saw what was going on. And after that, they started harassing him to the point that he actually left Hollywood and went, I don't know where the heck, back Midwest, wherever he was from, Northeast or whatever. But I think that, I believe the hype. I don't believe everything that everybody says, but when you keep seeing all the stuff that comes out about Kevin Spacey, about Charlie Sheen, about Diddy, about Quincy Jones, about Oprah, about Harvey Weinstein, like what they did to Liza Minnelli, what they did to Shirley Temple, like all of that stuff was dirty. And the thing about it is, it looks so glitzy and glamorous and attractive, but just a light scratch of the surface, and it's the darkest S on the planet. So I believe it. I believe they protect you until they don't protect you anymore. And I would not doubt what you're saying about them attacking the Black folk, but it's for stuff you did that you've been allowed to get away with. I can't cry a river for you when you get caught. And they are taking down white people too. They did take down Ghislaine Maxwell, and they killed Jeffrey Epstein, and took down Harvey Weinstein, and they have taken some of them down, but they're going after Black folk. And I
feel like they one of millions, though. I feel like, and then the way they take them down is still, to me, it seems like they being taken down with grace. Like they not messing with their children. They're not messing with, they messing with Puff's children. They're messing with everything.
He's got arrested.
Yes, and now they got a story behind it. Now they got a story behind it saying that they might be involved in drugging women and essaying women. And these women are supposed to be like 4 or 5 years ago, and these kids was like 13 then. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't hear how long ago, but I heard that about that oldest one, King Combs. Is that his name? Christian?
Yeah.
But,
so
I did hear that they were saying that he had drugged somebody and all of that. I mean, I know that you and I see it differently.
Right.
I just know. I mean, like some stuff you just know in your spirit. I know that those people are dirty. I've seen so much I've heard so much, and it lines up. It lines up. I've heard of them taking masters from albums and taking them into the throne room where they say satanic things over them.
I've heard that too, but
And
I just can't believe everything. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, and the reason why I say this, because I know so many people in the business, my own family's in the business, and I know for a fact they've never had to compromise. I was in the business and I never compromised.
you
You know what
don't
I
have
mean?
to do it, and this is something discussion I have with some other people. You
Hmm.
don't have to do it at every level. So yes, the same way with the Masons, there are tons of
Yeah,
Masons around
yeah.
the country who believe in that organization, who work for community service and the fellowship and the brotherhood, but they're low level, mass level. But if you're going to get to the top, you're going to do what's required. So if you become a household name like Jay-Z, Puff
Hmm.
Daddy, Will Smith, Mark
Hmm.
Lawrence, I'm just naming our Black
Yeah,
folks,
I know, I know.
Charlize Theron, all of them, all the Jennifer Aniston, all those, when you, Tom Hanks,
Hmm.
Harley Sheen, when you get to get to those levels, that some of the rappers tell you there's a door you have to walk through. And if you don't walk through that door, you would not be successful. But there's a lot of success you can have before you get to that point. You can make
Hmm.
some millions, you can sell some millions of records or be
Hmm.
in movies in a supporting role or whatever. But to get and I hated to see that because I used to believe in Will Smith so much. He seemed so squeaky
Put together.
clean and
Hmm.
conscious and about us and all that. And I had to start saying, his they didn't let him in
Yeah,
without
yeah.
paying the price, and everybody else had to pay the price to get to the higher level. So at your level, you didn't get to that. People in the business, they may be multimillionaire. You can make a couple million. You're not going to get to that. But when you start making 20 million, so that means Samuel L. Jackson, that means people that I've got. What about Denzel? I mean, you know what I
That's
mean?
what I'm saying. Like, what makes it that? What do you? It doesn't mean just because you want to be successful, you want to make a lot of money, you have to take this road that they are saying that is out there. What would be the benefit of that? You know what I'm saying? What secrets do
Benefit is
you?
money and fame. To
Yeah,
get
but what I'm saying is you have to
money.
already have a sick fetish, or you already have to be a sick person, because there's no way in the world you're going to tell me that if I have no sick weirdo ways with me, that I'm gonna play that game. I'm not gonna. And why does the new? If I'm gonna start something because all the other people who had the weird ways are finished, done, they're dead or whatever, why do I have to start it off saying, okay, we got to do it the old school way to keep y'all in line? Like, you're gonna be in line anyway. You don't have any weird ways about you.
Spiritual. It's not about no. It's not about keeping anybody in line. It's
Mhm.
about those dark entities that run those industries and the sacrifices and the kind of sex magic and weird behavior that they require for you to rise to the top. So, like, look at Maya.
Mhm.
Remember Maya, the singer?
Of course. Mhm.
She did a duet. I don't call it a duet. She did a feature with Jay-Z and all that. Well, you
Mhm.
look at her now, she pretty much tell you, I chose not to go that way. So
Mhm.
she still sings and stuff.
Mhm.
Excuse me, I think she's a vegan and she has an
Mhm.
online presence and people still love her, but she never, ever reached the level of a Beyonce because she did not play that game.
Mhm.
I just believe firmly that there are levels you can get to, and those levels you can be successful. You can have a home in the Hollywood Hills, you can make 2.5 million a year or
Mhm.
whatever the case may be, but you're not becoming Kanye. You're not becoming a billionaire without jumping through those hoops. That's my belief. I understand you believe differently, and I'm willing to shut up and hear whatever you have to say, but that I do, but it's a
I mean,
dark.
I do see, and this is why I feel like sometimes life mimics art, and because I remember when Tupac had a video where everybody went into these different rooms, and in each room somebody was doing something freakier, and I just remember like there have been movies made like that with the what's her name?
Eyes wide shut. Eyes wide shut was
I
one.
watched, yes,
Mhm.
yes, that one, and then also the one with Jesse Smollett's sister when she got AIDS, like how she went down in the basement. What was that? Was an amazing movie. I and everybody
Oh, 'cause she was married to somebody, and
she
I
was married to a really nice
don't
guy, and
start
then
fooling with
she
somebody
yep,
else.
and she started fooling with the dark entity guy who gave her AIDS, and and luckily her husband didn't get it, but um, it was just one of those things where I feel like sometimes life imitates art. You know what I'm saying? Because people see these things, and just because you have a vision and you want to make a movie, there's a person out there in the world that go, "I'll say that that's true." And it's like, come on, y'all. When do we get to the point where we can just enjoy somebody's like you look at not Pandora, but what's the movie with Pandora where they go to Pandora? I always forget the name of that darn movie,
No, I might not. I don't watch everything. I don't
but
know.
it's an amazing movie that you can only think of, like, and you say to yourself, "Well, how could your brain conceive that there's a tree of life and you all are connected by your hair?"
About Avatar?
Avatar, yes. Like when I watched Avatar, I'm thinking, how does someone brain be able to put that 1 plus 1 and get this? Like that is just amazing to me. But then you'll have someone out there that could take something like that and just screw it up, just like they do everything. Like even when they made the Woman King, oh, I'm gonna protest it because they were a tribe of women that what, you didn't even watch the darn movie to see how great the movie was and how that movie how that tribe became what it was. Like you didn't even see the movie.
Engaging in the slave trade. I didn't even watch that movie because of that. I'm not going to protest it. I protest with my dollars. I'm either in my time and attention.
Mhm.
So I did not watch that. That is a real tribe, the Dahomey tribe, that survived by engaging in the
But see,
transatlantic
if you
slave.
watch the movie, it had a story to it. These men, they were men who would just come to their village and rape their women and kill their children. And finally they, got the strength to fight back, and they literally they captive put these men in captive. And when there was people who came along, was like, we need strong men to help build this, whatever. It was like,
Well,
yeah, take these
that's
criminals.
Hollywood, right? I didn't watch it, so I can't say it's true or false.
Mhm,
It's Hollywood. They fictionalize things. I don't know if that part you're saying is true.
mhm,
And I don't know the details of their tribe, but I do know they were involved in it. I chose not to watch it. I
mhm.
also chose not to watch it because in the Black community is not beneficial to us for the women to always be in control, the strongest, the rulers. We really need to create a
But
place
I
for.
feel like we aren't. I feel like they give that to the Caucasian woman. I feel like all the roles of warrior fight, and I feel like they've been doing this for years. It's like finally we seeing some warriors that we what we really are. Like I don't know any white tribe women that conquer everything, but they in every movie. They're always the fighter, can do kung fu and slay the dragon. They're like, come on, that doesn't even. That's not even. It's entertaining, but it's not real.
So, with regard to those things you were saying, like Avatar and stuff like that, the storyline is that it's not life imitating art or people looking at art and saying, "Hey, I think it's true." The
Mhm.
storyline is they base the art on facts that we don't know, on hidden history that we don't know.
See,
That
I agree with that, but sometimes it goes back to what came first, the chicken or the egg. Did the art come first or did the actuality come first? Like I wasn't there to be able to say. So at this moment I get so confused by it. Like I could just like I have stories in my brain that are not true that I could write and publish, but because of that somebody saying she stole my story or like dude, this is going on in my brain. I'm sorry that we have two alternate universes where things really might have happened to you, but I think about it and just make it up. It's like a controversy.
my novels, I make stuff up all the time. Like I'm not a rich, wealthy person,
Mhm,
so I don't have to jump through hoops.
mhm.
And I make stuff up all the time. I'm gonna write another one. I'm gonna make up a whole 300 or 400 pages of stuff. You put it out there, you make it up. There's also uh, I don't know, there is a pool of ideas. And I
Mhm.
think that if you don't act on the ones that are given to you, they will be given to somebody else. If you
Amen.
see it and you
Amen.
go like when rap first came out, I had said to my mom, we need to make clean. I'm not lying. Long
Mhm.
in the 90s, early 90s, we need to make clean versions of this because everybody doesn't want to hear that crap, but the beats are banging. The
You're
rap
right.
the
You're
rap
right.
the bars are everything.
You're
And
right.
we could make a clean one. My mother, okay, yeah, we missed so many good ideas. And what? That's the whole thing now. You got
Yeah,
the explicit version and the clean version. We didn't do anything with it, even though the idea occurred to me. It was given to somebody else and they did it. And that's how it works.
that's true. That's true. You never told a lie with that one. That's true. If you don't do nothing with it, somebody else will, and that's just how it is. So it is. I guess it brings it to our second thing that I was talking about as far as like religion, because right now it's like all of these. I should say what I would call it. PWC, predominantly white church.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the PWCs supposedly on like Easter Sunday went around and apologized to African Americans for the history and all the sabotage, and they just, you
Went
know,
around to where? To black churches or to black
their
neighborhoods?
own church. Like they held hands in their church and they announced it. They put it on social media. Like, we are apologizing of the atrocities. We know, we witnessed, we benefited from it, and we are so sorry. I'm like, why now? Is this solar eclipse thing making people afraid, thinking the second coming of Jesus is coming on? So I'm like, why now? Then we got the Pope. Yes, he does kiss feet and wash feet. Yes, he does. But he just went around to these high dignitary people and some people who weren't even so high and just taking them take their shoes off or whatever.
Dignitaries, right? The
Mhm.
African dignitaries are the ones.
Yes, yes. And kissing their feet and wanting it to be on social media, him seeing them kissing their feet and washing their feet and doing all this stuff. And I think I'm saying, like, what is going on? Why is no one? How do you know, but we don't know? And when I say you, I don't mean you, but I mean people. I use you way too loosely, but
No, I know what you mean. Personified. Yeah.
right. Thank you. Thank you. But I want to know, how is it that it's all of this apologetic? Black people were, taught us this, and black people were the rulers of that. Where, and saying that, all of this from the Bible, it was all about blacks. Where's this coming from?
All that. I still believe what I don't know exactly what the answer is, but I still believe what I said last week. And I think they're just piling it on and on. There's a change, there's a shift. Something is different, something is coming, and they know. It's like that everybody's apologizing and changing their story. Everybody except this crappy America who continues to bring in other people to replace us. But all around the rest of the world, they're apologizing, they're granting rights to Australian Aborigines. They're doing, the Pope is, this time they said he washed women's feet, which he's never done.
What?
Just like all, something is changing and they know it. And I think that it is also reflected in the fact that the British royal family is dissolving. They were a critical link between
Hmm.
spirituality and the control matrix that is here. But the
Okay.
queen died. They claim
Mhm.
that Charles has cancer. Kate has cancer.
Mhm.
Just so much going on. I don't
Oh
know.
my God, I never looked at it from that side. So the rest of the world is experiencing trauma that we have been saying we have had our whole life. Do you think that could be a possibility too? Like, they're starting to see trauma and feel trauma and lose loved ones and children, and everything is like, wait, why is this happening? We were immune to this. And it's like, maybe it's because we screwed the blacks over so long that enough is enough. Like, now we're starting to be traumatized. Like, I never really thought of that until you said that.
That wasn't what I meant, but that's possible too. What I really mean is that, nothing lasts forever. They ruled for a
Mm,
really long time.
okay.
We had us in a substandard position for a really long time. We
Okay.
entered a new age and things are going to change. It doesn't change the moment you cross that line from Pisces to Aquarius, but it builds, the momentum builds, and there's going to be some prices to pay. So I just personally feel like people just are trying to clean stuff up some. So maybe the price they pay won't be so large. I won't be surprised at whatever happens. I don't think it's happening on April 8th, but
Right.
I think
Right.
that we are moving into a different age. And that's why we're seeing different things being revealed and people
They are.
changing their tactics, changing where they stand on issues.
So do they believe that the apology alone is going to dissolve them of their crimes? Like,
Like I said last week, to me, it's too little, too late. All the horror
yeah.
that has been done, you think you're going to pass a law and give some Aborigines more control over there? over how their lives go? Are you going to hold hands and say, I'm sorry? And you think you're going to be absolved of responsibility for all the hell you put people on this earth through? I don't think so, but I mean, I can't blame them for trying. I can't blame them for
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trying.
You sure can't. You sure cannot blame them.
Okay, what about, oh, with religion? That's our timer going off, so I think
Mhm,
we just have a few more minutes. But I saw a video where I saw it from a fellow woman who travels to Africa a lot, posted a
mhm.
video where Africans had a China in Africa had a Chinese minister up at the front acting a fool the same way the black African pastors act over there. If you
No.
have X amount of money, you can come up to the front when so you
No.
know it's about money. And then when they come up doing this, and they're supposed to be falling back. So I'm like, God, these people are gullible. Our
And they were
cousins in
Asian,
Africa. It's
Asian
a
men
skinny
in a
Asian man
black church.
in a black church acting a fool like the African pastors, because you know that they let African pastors do things we
Yeah,
would not ever.
yeah,
Oh my God, the stories I've
yeah.
heard. But
No,
yeah,
I've seen it. I've seen it.
yeah. And so I guess now the Chinese, not only are they taking over the airports, the restaurants, the roads, and the country, they're just going to take over religion too. Our people in religion, it's like Indians and alcohol. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just a
yeah.
drug to us that we just don't seem to be able to push away and get over. I'm not saying there's no space for religion. I'm not saying
No,
there's no truth in religion, but they just take it to a level.
yeah, I think if black folks would wake up one day and just stand on spirituality and forget about religion in a whole, I think we could be a lot better off because we're pigeonholed by religion. We're
I
and if
think
you feel the spirituality of right and wrong, that's all you need, you know. But as far as needing somebody else to lead you to the water and all of that, I don't know. I didn't raise my children like that. I didn't like being raised like that. So I knew I just felt off. Like you preaching one thing, but I see a whole nother. You know what I mean? Like I used to think when I saw something holy but thou, it was holy but thou, but then I see you buying drugs and alcohol, and I'm like, oh no, 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 no. I see you running women and women gossiping about you messing with these women and that. I'm like, nah, I can't raise my children under that sun. My son will be the son of, do you feel right and wrong in your heart? If you feel right and wrong and you still do wrong, then you suffer those consequences. But other than that, I'm
I
not going
raised
to shove
my
it down your
children in
throat.
church to some extent, and we went to the church and they went to Bible study and all that. But when
Mhm.
I woke up, we stopped going, and I said, "This is why." And this
Yep.
is why we're not doing that anymore. And as years went, and see that, that is why. Now, if they choose to be in it, I still support them. I'm the
Yeah.
one that brought them to it. But
Mhm.
you're gonna know that it's not all it's cracked up to be.
It's not. It's not. And I wouldn't want anyone who wants to make it in life to lead with a false prophet, because I know a lot of celebrities, you know, they give all praises to Jesus once they make it and everything. But I'm like, if you didn't start off with it in your heart, then that means you were like you all, you know, we were just discussing. You were dibbling dabbling until you got where you needed to go. Now you all of a sudden, Jesus saved me. It's like, I don't like that. That's
But
what I don't like.
you know, with the celebrities, a lot of times they don't say Jesus. Some of them came out and said that they had contracts that precluded them from saying Jesus. If you really listen to them, they always talk about God. Rick Ross, God said. Snoop Dogg, God appeared. On the stages at
What?
the Grammys and stuff, they thank God. But there's more than one God. There's a, you know, the balance,
Yeah. Well,
good
through,
and the
yeah.
bad. So the
Yeah.
question is, what God? I mean, sometimes I do think like, what God are you talking about? Because not my God, you know. But
Oh.
I don't know. Torah is complicated, and we're going to see how things play out. But again, I do agree with you that they want to take our people down. I just think
One by
that
one by one.
they just have covered for them for a long time, and then when you turn on them or when you get out of place, you don't remember your place,
Hmm.
they topple your house of cards. And like you said, they got the media. I mean,
Hmm.
it's easy to sway people. You say things often enough, People think it's
Oh
Trump.
my God. And then we, like I said, we as Black people are our own worst enemy. We run with it. Every time I see white folks on there, Spanish folks on social media, Black folks, you all talking about Diddy. And I'm like, they don't let you talk about their people like that. They do not. Try it. You just try it.
They
Try
defend their
it.
people.
Try to talk about Donald Trump like that. I bet you have some people show up on your doorstep like they do not. And you know, what him and Puffy, as far as rumor has it, allegedly, they one and the same. Womenizers.
And think about, was Trump ever on the Epstein plane? He was never on any of those
He
lists.
was beyond on that plane. He's in videos with him and everything.
Thought so. So
Yeah, they got pictures and videos of them laughing, pointing at girls. And don't get me wrong, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I told everybody I'm not voting for. I'm democratically this year. I don't care who don't like it. I said what I said, but I'm still gonna point the finger at when I see right and wrong. And I know for a fact that Trump has had a list of womenizing, sexual assaulting, and the same thing Diddy supposedly had, but he got
there are
people.
a lot more of them. There's a lot more than Trump and Diddy. I would
Yeah,
venture to
but
say
look at the
that
support that's behind him. You can go on any of those social media sites and say one bad thing about Donald Trump, and his insurrectional six people will show up on your doorstep and say it to our face.
I
You
think
will not
part of
make it.
that is because of his political aspect. Like when they went after Kevin Spacey and whatever that comedian Klein's name was,
But you
and
don't think Kevin Spacey even went down with a glide? I don't feel like he got slammed down to the ground. I feel like it was glide
I feel like they just made the allegations and then
and went away. I
same
don't
with
none of that. You don't.
the same with Jeffrey Epstein. They just kept saying we're gonna publish the list, and then it just went away. So
What
I
about
mean,
Galeen or whatever her name? What about her? Like, do you hear anything about her dog, cats, or anything? Nothing. She
who,
went away. They say they charged her for participating and is glided away. You
who
didn't
are
see
you talking about?
his girlfriend, Jeffrey Epstein. Well, the
Oh, Ghislaine Maxwell,
yeah.
she's in jail. I don't know what kind
But
of.
that's it though. You know, it wasn't a whole slide that we went through of her. You know, I feel like you don't see her anybody in her family, sisters and brothers getting, locked up and
And
ridiculed.
black
They trying to
people
like Puffy
participate.
mother up.
Really?
Yeah. They showed her a video where he said, I will eat my own mother alive to do be success. He was basically hypothetically hyping up somebody. And they showed it that and like to try to get her to say stuff about her own son. I'm like, yo, I cannot believe the extent they going through to bring down one man as if he's that powerful to whom? Because I think he's amazing as far as business wise and what he's done for the community as far as giving people opportunities. Okay, that's all I'm saying. However, you're not that important to me. Diddy could not tell me to go to a certain church or go to a certain Noah's Ark. He couldn't tell me to do anything. He could not lead me anywhere. So why so bad? Why you know what I mean? Oprah couldn't. Tyler Perry couldn't. None of the celebrities can lead me anywhere. So why don't you dig so hard to try to take them down? Thank you for kicking it with Kimm and Torra.